In the news, a man convicted of manslaughter in the death of his one-year-old son is challenging his own guilty plea in court today. Reginald Melvin pleaded guilty to manslaughter in 2023 as part of a plea deal. He is serving a 25-year prison sentence plus 6 years probation. Melvin was originally charged with murder in the death of his son Silas, who was killed in 2021. According to the state medical examiner's office, Silas died from blunt force trauma to several parts of his body.
Investigators with the state fire marshal's office say they believe that the fire at the Robbins lumber mill in Searsmont did start accidentally. They released their initial findings yesterday. Investigators say that the fire started out at the base of a silo and the explosion happened before that fire could be contained. The silo fell over and fire quickly spread to nearby buildings. Investigators also say the facility's fire suppression system at the top of the silo did not activate because temperatures were not high enough. Investigators say they finished their work at the scene for now, but they might return in the next few months to test the unloader system at the mill and then fully be able to identify what caused that fire.
The man accused of killing a Maine lawyer and philanthropist has been found incompetent to stand trial. Marquise James is accused of killing Robert Fuller Jr. at a senior living facility in Maryland back in February. James was a medication technician at that facility. Investigators said James gave medication to Fuller the night before he was found dead. This latest ruling comes after James was found fit to stand trial in March. Another competency hearing is scheduled for November. The trial is underway in Bangor of a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend.
Richard Thorpe is charged with murder in the death of Virginia Cookson. Yesterday, prosecutors presented some evidence showing that she was found strangled in her home in Bangor of September of 24. During cross-examinations, defense attorneys questioned details of the evidence, including how Cookson died. Several Bangor police officers testified that they had responded to a report that Thorpe and Cookson were fighting in the days before her death. Cookson's co-worker also testifying that there was another instance where she had to call the police to have a no trespass order issued after Thorpe had come to her job and locked her into one of the rooms. This trial expected to continue throughout the week.
Bail has been set at $50,000 for a man accused of stabbing a photographer at a wedding over the weekend. It happened on Saturday night at Kingsley Pines Campground in Raymond. Andrew Manderson from Scarborough is charged with elevated aggravated assault. Manderson was attending his cousin's wedding when he allegedly stabbed Donald Halsing on the dance floor. Lawyers say Halsing is still recovering from surgery. They say there is no known connection between the two men.
State Representative Randall Hall will be spending 2 days behind bars as a result of a plea deal that was reached in court. Hall pleading guilty yesterday to falsifying signatures while attempting to qualify for Maine Clean Elections funding in 2024. Prosecutors say that Representative Hall tried to get extra money through Maine's Clean Elections Act by turning in 10 forms with false signatures from campaign donors. The assistant director of the Maine Ethics Commission says Hall disregarded the law.
His actions disregarded the laws he swore to uphold 4 times as a member of the Maine House of Representatives. The Ethics Commission will continue to review every qualifying contribution and signature submitted by candidates seeking MCEA funds because Maine citizens deserve no less when it comes to how their hard-earned tax dollars are spent.
Now, Speaker of the Maine House Ryan Fecteau is renewing his calls for Hall to resign. Fecteau says pleading guilty to violating election laws betrays public trust. He says if Representative Hall does not resign, he will refer the matter to the House Ethics Committee. Hall is currently serving House District 74 that covers several towns, including Wilton, Avon, and Carthage.
A 4-day strike is underway at Holton Regional Hospital over staffing concerns in the emergency department. Nurses argue that staffing levels in the ED are not safe for patients. In a statement, the hospital says staffing levels remain within national benchmarks. Officials say they have a contingency plan in place to maintain patient care during this strike, but the Maine State Nurses Association says a prior agreement to always have 3 nurses in the department has not been honored, with only 2 regularly scheduled overnight. The strike comes 1 year after the hospital closed its labor and delivery unit, which nurses say has increased pressure on the emergency department.
We've been asking for additional staff for a while. We have a lot of critical patients that come in And when you have just a certain amount of nurses, they can quickly become overwhelmed.
We need the extra staff not only to give best care that we can, but also the patients feel that attentive care.
The strike is expected to continue through Saturday morning as both the nurses union and the hospital continue to negotiate a new contract. The nurses' previous contract expired in November of 2024.